commentary, definitely stick around here, but do what you want to do. Ugh, probably.
Stream is down.
Yay, Twitch. Yeah, Sir Bosch won the RP.
Oh, that's cool. I see Sir Bosher, and it's always cool to see familiar names winning prizes.
For sure. It's a lot better than the randoms being like, when RP, when RP. It's like, go away.
Man, Tarek needs a visual upgrade where like every single strand of his hair is like Ari's tails, just glowing.
Can it all be animated? Yes, please.
Yes. And like his biceps ripple underneath his armor. My god. Alright, stream's back up, so that's good. Starting items. We can go over that, I suppose.
Seconds until minions spawn.
Or at least I will once I restart my client because it is black, all black, and I can't see anything.
Someone was asking if we just do one RP card giveaway or if we're doing more than one. We can only really afford one. Our stream is still pretty small. We don't earn money from it yet. Like, we're not partner or anything. So all of our donations go immediately back into the stream to fund giveaways, to fund like upgrades to the stream technology, like upgrading internet, paying extra bandwidth, that sort of stuff. So basically, more donations equals more giveaways. That's not my desperate plight for you guys to donate, but just a reminder that if you want more giveaways, someone kind of has to fund them. We've put a lot of time and money into this stream, so...
Don't listen to Pro. He's being like, it's a nice stream we have here. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to it.
Exactly.
So, interesting choices. We see both Tarek and Leona started with a Relic Shield, which did get buffed, I believe, a little bit. And I don't know if it's a better choice necessarily than Ancient Coin, but it's a lot more viable now. Singe started with a Flask, while Vlad has a single Rejuvenation bead and a whole bunch of pots. Draven and Lucian both have D-Shield plus a pot. Both junglers have Machete and Consumable start, and both middle laners have D-Ring and pot start. So there's not too many surprises here.
So I want to see this Gragas face planting onto this Lux's face. Like, we know she's running no magic resist. No, she literally has 16 armor. So I'm very interested to see how safe she's able to play, especially when she's shoving up so hard.
Someone asked, why are all the LCS teams exclusively male? That's a complicated question. Partly it's that mostly dudes have been playing since childhood more due to societal like pressures, etc. And mostly it's just that League is kind of like a dude-dominated sport due to like social pressures or whatever.
So I want to point out exactly how Tarek handled that engage. Leona dove onto Draven, and immediately Tarek said, okay, I can't peel a Leona, but I can stop Lucian from attacking. So he walks up to Lucian, stuns, auto-attacks, and tries to put on a little bit of pressure. That being said, though, he is going to get the kill because Leona is able to land a second engage.
Lucian did flash there, and for a second it looked like he was going to escape. Draven was going to escape because he did pop barrier, but ultimately it wasn't enough. And Lucian's early damage is very strong, especially with his passive. So big props to Lucian for just pushing for the kill and not backing off.
I like that Eve gank. Just saying, okay, Vlad takes a little while to get rolling. Let's go up there and stop this Singe from perma-pushing. Singe doesn't have a defensive item to start with, so it's a pretty safe, easy gank. You're going to get a lot of damage on even if you get nothing else. So now we have the exact same thing being done mid. The Fear comes in, silence, drain, and that's going to be a very dead Lux.
You can just watch her health
there we
pool melt away. Though I don't believe armor runes or whatever would have saved her though there, but it definitely might have given her a little more time to escape. Lux just kind of melted away like a snowflake in the sun.
That's a beautiful image.
Thank you. That's why they pay me the big bucks at my writing job. So blue team, or sorry, purple team almost has a thousand gold advantage early on, 800 gold, just from those two early ganks and farming, and which shows how important early game ganks are. Both junglers are aggressively showing their face all over the map. Evelyn did have a couple of nerfs in earlier patches, but she's still a very strong ganker, very dominant jungler.
So we see Fiddlesticks now trying to do the exact same thing top lane. He's getting in behind Vlad. Vlad does have Troll Pool, so they need to keep that in mind. I would have Singed engaging. Walk past the Troll Pool, land the Fear, and that's going to be a dead Vlad. So this Fiddle is having a very strong early game impact. And
one thing I want to point out is that he actually moves around and fears so that the person runs in the opposite direction. He is basically adjusting to the most recent change to fear, and it's really working out for him.
Now, we see, again, bot lane, Leona constantly trying to engage here. They seem to be doing a good job of disengaging, but I'm interested to see if it's the same sort of outcome as before, where, hey, I disengaged that and get that all in, but then you're going to do it again in 5 seconds and I'm going to die, right? They're responding appropriately, but then they're sort of staying in a position where they can just keep re-engaging.
I have to say, the gold advantage for purple is kind of stunning, considering that we are only 6 minutes in.
Yeah, it is definitely over 1,000 gold at this point, about 1,400-ish. Now, a lot of that is because of the Lucian CS advantage and the Singed CS advantage, as well as, of course, the kills. But the actual CS amount is what's really pushing this over the edge, I would say. Early kills, yeah, they're great, but it's not like they're going to put you so far ahead that you can't get back into the match.
One thing I'm super impressed to see is how Cinch will apply poison to Vlad and making sure that the poison will continue to tick on him even when Vlad pulls. So not only does Vlad take the damage from the pool, but he's also continuing to have dots tick away on him, which is the reason why Swain is such a strong counter, is because dots ignore pool.
Exactly. So now we have Fiddle going in bot lane. Same thing as before, though. Oh, there's the Flash E. Great job getting over the Taric.
This Fiddles is just really, he's everywhere at once. And the thing is, he could be, if he was not making any of these ganks, he would be falling behind in experience. But he's picking up every kill, which means he's staying competitive.
For sure, and that's what you need to do. We mentioned, I think it was the first game, where they both sort of picked mid to late game junglers who don't have very good wave clear. And it was just like, why are you picking a jungler who isn't going to influence the early game? We've seen both junglers have very strong early game ganks. Within the first 5 minutes of the game, you're showing up and putting the terror of God into these people. Actually, we see Singed counter jungling. I like that decision. I'm not sure... He should be able to get this, I think.
If not, blue buff will get fed. Blue buff will pick up a Phantom Dancer with its extra gold and go gank top. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, right?
That makes me so sad. I liked the decision of Singed to be like, hey, look, we know their bot lane. I'm going to take their blue buff. But he doesn't have the resources to take it himself. So that makes me sad.
Singed actually became partially popular because of a strategy called Pooting. And Pooting was, there was a player called Poot on Dominion, and what Poot did is he picked characters like Janna or Singed, and he would run around and grab points, and just like have his poison on and pick up all of the minion gold in between points as he ran around backcapping things. Pooting was actually a very dominant strategy in high elo Dominion, to the point where there was actually a player who loved to chase down Poot, and that became anti-Pooting. And Pooting came over to Summoner's Rift on characters like Cinch, where they don't care about your tower, they just want to farm and run around and put poison on things. And that's the most I've ever said Poot in like my entire life.
So much Pooting. So, Eve is getting a little bit... They're catching the Singed, but really, is it you catching Singed, or is it Singed catching you at that point?
Don't chase Singed is rule 1 of League.
Yeah.
Never chase Singed.
So Singed is just being a giant nuisance here. I like this.
Getting some Pooting done is what he's doing. But Vlad puts down the ult and the ignite, and it's not quite enough damage on the Evelyn. Anti-Pooting has succeeded.
But here comes the Fiddlesticks. He's level 6. What will happen?
Fiddles. He doesn't know that Vlad's in the bush. Vlad turns around. Oh no!
That was beautiful. So there was a number of questions in chat, most of them not particularly related to the game, but because not a whole lot is going on at the moment, I will address them. Someone was asking, are the workshops free? Yes, anyone can join these workshops. They're for Gold 5 and below players. We try and give preference to people who are new to the stream so that we can get them involved in our little bit of a community here. We also do offer a little bit of priority to people who have donated in the past to the stream. Donations go directly back into the stream, though. They're what fund all of our giveaways. They're what fund new headsets and mics and webcams and stuff so that we can keep the stream improving in quality. So yeah, the workshops are definitely free. Anyone can play, assuming they fit the role requirements.
It's your favorite item in the entire game on Singed.
It's a tier.
I know you love tiers so much.
For those of you who watch the stream normally, I hate tier. It's such a bad item on 99% of champions. On Singed, it's okay. Especially if you're versus someone like Vlad, who's not going to have that strong of an early game. You're going to have a little bit of time to get it stacked. But you could have just gone Rod of Ages if you really wanted a stacking AP item. Someone's asking what runes I'd run on Mundo. You can run pretty much anything on Mundo. Your goal is to survive lane. So, as much as I might want to suggest Hybrid Penetration Reds because you do a lot of magic damage and you do a lot of auto attack damage, honestly, just run whatever is going to allow you to survive lane. If you need to be tanky, run full tank runes. If you need regen, run health per 10 quints or something. You can run anything and be successful on him.
So
we see a double gank coming in bot lane. There is a pink ward that they're walking over, so they're not really going to have anything come from it. I would expect Gragas to counter push this. He has great wave clear. Just combo this entire wave, push in the tower, and get an advantage that way.
Quick question. We see that Evelyn is building a Spirit of the Elder Lizard. They changed that a patch or two ago so that it no longer procs on spell effects such as Zyra Plants or Hate Spike. Is it still the ideal jungle item to build an Evelyn, do you think?
I wouldn't say ideal, but it's viable. That being said, it still procs on your E.
Fiddles ults, flashes, and fears Lux, then just crows all over her face. She goes down. Evelyn's swinging around to try to counter gank Fiddles. He's turning around. Will he be able to get off in time? He gets the fear and the crow bouncing spell that I can't remember the name of.
It's Dark Wind, I think. Yeah, Dark Wind. Again, this Fiddlesticks is having so much impact. Bot lane is doing fine by themselves. Lucian, Leona, they're holding their own, they're maintaining a good CS advantage, and they're fighting very nicely. But the amount of impact that this Fiddle is having right now is just beautiful.
I don't know, it's nothing to crow about.
I'll crow if I want to. Gaboza. We already did the RP giveaway. We're doing a Steam giveaway at the moment, and we're doing ranked workshops at the moment. We're going to be doing at least one more match after this.
So Lux is even on CS with Gragas, but she's 2 kills behind, and she's continuing to push extremely aggressively. She does have 1 ward, but the other side of the river is completely unwarded. If Fiddlesticks were to wrap around, she would have no idea about it until he was already dropping a drain on her.
So we see the Singed popping his ult, just regenning back up as best he can. And honestly, at this point of the game, I would expect Singed to start losing a little bit. Vlad really needs about level 9 for his max transfuse, which he has now. And he needs a couple items, and he's starting to get there. He's got a little bit of magic pen, he's got a little bit of sustain. And so I would expect him to start being able to combo back on. I don't know why that flash was needed. Style points, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have flashed there, but he definitely should have been kited around and picked that up a little bit easier. But yeah, I would expect to see Vlad get more and more beastly in this lane.
Right, Vlad has 2 power spikes, one around level 9, and then late game he becomes a monster. So getting kills on Singed is a very big deal. We kind of expected him to lose lane, but he's definitely holding his own here.
I don't agree with that Fiddle ult. It's going to expire by the time he catches up to Vlad. He might still get the kill.
I think he wanted the flash more than the ult, but it's such a valuable cooldown. I'm not 100% sure it was worth it. Lux is coming up.
Okay.
Applet's coming behind. It's about to become a Fiddle sandwich up on top.
Yeah, that's a Fiddle sandwich you really don't want.
I don't think you would ever want a Fiddle sandwich. Hey,
come on, really, he looks delicious. Singed is back.
Here we see those flat AP runes paying off as Lux procs her passive, gets the kill up on top lane.
Problem with that is her passive doesn't scale with AP.
Oh my god. Really?
Yeah.
What? You have killed my dreams of like Leona Lux bot lane, Rushashin on Lux.
Yeah, so at this point we need to see some CDR coming in from Vlad. He actually rushed an Athene, not an Athene, it's a Leandries. What am I saying? I don't agree with that personally. You need some CDR on him so that you can get more transfuses going. Nice pickup on Lux.
Singe is being very aggressive, and that's worth it, but he also needs time to farm. He can't just go from like level 1 full ham. And unfortunately, that means that Singe is really falling behind. Vlad has an assist up on him. Vlad has some more time to farm now. And Singe, granted, late game will continue to be a big pain in the butt, but I'm just worried about whether he's really hindering himself right now with his current playstyle.
For sure. Like, blue team is countering his aggression nicely, but there's no reason for him to be playing this balls to the wall.
Right. Singe has some wind-up time, and his kit means he'll be strong all game, or at least relevant, but he does need items to be a true terror.
No, they don't have the Lux ult. Oh, there's the Lux ult. It literally came up right then. Fiddle's still able to get the shutdown though, so good response by him. I don't know why Leona tried to back right there and why Gragas was going so aggressive, but it works. So we see him going aggressive again. He is chasing in the poison, which I don't agree with, but he is going to take him down with the ignite and ult. And again, we would expect to see that from him at this point. He's going to start destroying this lane. I just wish he would build a little bit more appropriately for it.
The single rejuvenation bead on Vlad is quite confusing to me. I'm not sure what it's going to build into.
Does it build into...
Not
Spirit
Will
Visage?
I don't believe so, actually. I think
Doesn't it?
Spirit Visage is Kindle Gem plus...
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Kindle Gem plus a Negatron.
So the gold count is still about 1,000 gold ahead from purple. Blue team has caught up a little, but they still have that small advantage. Blue team is actually coming around for a gank on bot lane. Draven landing an axe, everyone chasing. I don't believe they will get a kill out of this. Fiddles comes mid, fears Lux, the barrel.
Nice ult.
That wombo combo, it's so wombo.
I don't know why he flashed out. I have so many complaints when I watch low elo games where people just flash. It's like, but why did you do that? Why did you ignite when you needed like one auto attack? Why did you flash when you're at a full health and going to take one tower shot, right? Like, I get that you might panic flash, but it's an important cooldown.
But, Pro, there's one question about Flask I have to ask you. D or F?
F.
My god, I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
I'm sorry, I don't accidentally flash.
You put flash on D, and it stands for, damn, we gotta get the hell out of here.
Oh, Brian's laughing at me. He calls for a shit when I say that I don't accidentally flash.
He
Okay,
sees
so
everything.
I don't like this fight bot lane. They're pushed all the way in. Lucian has no mana, and Leona, she was debating it. She really wanted to go in. She did back out though, so that's good. I also don't. Fiddlesticks rushed a Leandries. Why no Hourglass?
Last game we saw a lot of very controlled aggression, very calculated plays in order to take objectives. This game we're seeing a lot of aggression, but just it's a little silly how they're playing. I think.
It's a I want kills game.
And kills are very good, but kills don't win games. I mean, they get you gold, but ultimately, like, we see one tower down so far, almost 20 minutes in.
We now sparked a horrible argument about if F is for flash or not. Good disengage, but not quite connecting with the... Ooh, very nice ult. Wasn't quite able to connect it with the Draven, so he was able to chase and get a lot of damage. Lux then comes in from the side, lands a very nice combo, and able to pick up kills for herself. She now has 4 kills, just like Gragas, so she's all caught up. About even in CS. She's only down 2 assists, so they're on even terms at this point. Oh, and she's up another kill.
Draven is an interesting choice in the meta because he's always been just damage. Like, you'll go, why would you go just damage when you can have Ashe, who's damage plus initiation, or Varus, who's damage plus lockdown, and so on. And that really depends on who's playing Draven and his lane opponents. And against a Leona, he's not really getting just damage across as well as he could be.
No, Lux. Why you do this to me? Oh, she lived. Wow. That's why you never fight a Lux when she uses her W. Because the initial shield plus the second shield, it's just not worth trading with. Just don't do it.
Like, I'm not seeing Draven have as much as an influence as I would hope so. When he's against a Vayne, it's a different story, but an equal lane bully, not so much.
Yeah, he has a minor knockback, but that's not CC. That's not a Ashe Arrow. That's not Jinx global alt plus huge range slow plus traps. Like, there's just so much more utility that comes out from most AD carries, and there's usually a lot more safety. It's not that he's a bad AD carry, it's just there's usually better picks. I would only really pick him if you're running a full kill lane, or if you're versus AD carry who's very weak early game.
Bot lane is full of blue right now, and it looks like Vlad's coming around and making a 5-man engage on bot, but purple team is going to have 4 members of their team and the tower advantage, so who knows if this will turn into a kills or not.
Trying to dive a tower with a Gragas and a Fiddle and a Leona? No, just don't do it. And in the meantime, Singe is just going to split push mid. Vlad is responding to that, though. He's going to clear that out nicely. And at this point, blue team is who has to be careful.
Right,
there's the Leona ult directly onto Draven. She follows up with an E, chases
ult
after the flash, lands a stun. And at this point, the Fiddle ult's in range. Gragas can ult anytime he wants. Unfortunately, he does push them a little bit out of the Fiddle ult. But at this point, they're all here. They've got the priority kills they really needed, they got the priority summoner spells they needed, and they can just combo in.
Vlad swings around with dreams of a pentakill in his eyes, but turns around, gets flipped, and just murdered by Lucian. I understand Vlad's motivation there. He was thinking, I'm going to get a pentakill and this is going to be sweet, but unfortunately, he just ran into the meat grinder.
Okay, sorry about that, Butter Hero. I switched to the proper display mode so it's not covering builds.
Butter Hero. Is he a hero of butter?
Yeah. Can we not believe he's a hero?
The butter hero needs, not the hero it deserves.
Yes. This is bad. I have alcohol and no food.
You're gonna get hella drunk. Soon Pro will be like, so the guy uses, like, the thing, gets a kill. On Draven, he has 3 Doran's Blade. I'm not a big fan of 3 Doran's Blade. I think 2 is pushing it nowadays.
What do you have against Genja? Or no, wait, it wasn't Genja who did that. It was Yellow Turtle? I don't even know.
Yellow Turtle? There's a Wild Turtle and there's
Yellow Star. I don't fucking know. I haven't paid attention to LCS in a long time. But I remember Gambit, their AD carry.
Making names up now, like Yellow Turtle.
Yes. He's a turtle that's yellow. Fuck you. Okay, so blue team is just trying to fight over and over again versus the Wombo combo that purple has is not going to serve them very well. Lux lands a good ult, but in the long term, like, there's no peel for your team. You're all really squishy, and they just have so many AoE ults to lock you down. They have so much burst.
Pretty sure you're getting drunk already. Friggin' Yellow Turtle.
Okay, it was Genja. I was right.
Yeah,
God, I know what I'm talking about.
We're seeing a lot of engages that this game isn't as crisp as other games where it's a little chaotic, it's a little silly. And purple team is really gaining advantage here because wombo combos kind of reign supreme when you have blind engagers in the jungle, etc.
I'm not really a big fan of Archangels on Singed.
Destroyed.
I feel like this is probably someone who joined us after the searches, whatever. Like, I know who he is, I've watched him many times, but I cannot pronounce his fucking name.
It's
But
because you're drunk.
Sorry?
It's because you're drunk.
Yes. But I feel like he's probably here from that invade, because that's a very heavy AP Singed, and I get it, like, you have enough initiation from the Leona, but I might suggest a little bit of tankiness in your build.
This Leona's landing some really beautiful ults. Like, she always gets right in the dead center, follows up with an E. We see a lot of Leonas who do the opposite. They open with E and follow up with R, and that's the safer route for sure. But when you can land R as reliably as she is, she's getting some really fantastic engages off. So purple team has a nearly 10k gold advantage, 8k about, and they just keep picking up kills with the wombo combo. Fiddles is really, really deadly right now with 9 kills at 25 minutes, not to mention all of his assists, and he finally has his Zanyas now.
Yeah, and that hourglass is really what's going to make the big difference here, because if they're trying to hold a base, if they're trying to do an objective, literally just be like, fuck it, I'm going in, guys. Alt in, hourglass, split them up. Your team will probably pick up a kill or two, or you'll pick up a kill or two, and then if you die, who cares? You did your damage.
One thing I'm really enjoying is, first of all, in all of our games today, I believe all supports have picked up a Sight Stone, which is excellent. Also, we're seeing some really aggressive purple team warding. We're seeing that blue buff is warded for blue team. We got a pink at Baron, and so on. So I'm really enjoying seeing wards on the map. I think blue team really needs to get more wards down, especially considering the nature of purple's team comp. Some wards around Dragon, some wards around Baron at blue and red buff, I think would really increase their chances of winning a team fight. For instance, Tarek just walked into a murder bush.
He certainly did. And they're able to collapse a little bit. They have 5 men here now, but honestly, I don't even think they're going to be able to get much from it. They might get Leona. And honestly, Leona can turn at any time.
Oh, here we go.
There's the stun.
Evelyn ult. Oh, it's
Fiddle
not
Drain
up-
gets all the way through, heals him back up, keeps him somewhat safe. Lux goes down very quickly.
Here we're seeing where purple's gold advantage is really kicking in. That evil was not bad by any means, but Fiddles and Leona are just so much fatter compared to the competition that they're able to laugh it off in a way and sort of just turn around and murder her. And now we have a fully 10k gold plus advantage. Only 4 towers down in the entire game, but purple team is just picking up kills left, right, and center.
For sure. Now, as you're mentioning about warding, when you're versus a Fiddlesticks, you have to have the side of the lanes warded, or you're going to get ulted. And if you get ulted, you've lost the fight. You have to have vision on him. If you don't, he just wins. And that's why he's so very potent, especially in mid-elo, where your team is smart enough to follow up, but the enemy team isn't quite smart enough to ward.
We're seeing another tower go down on top lane this time. Not a lot of towers are down, and like 30 minutes in, we don't have an inner tower down yet on the other side, and we still have a couple of outers up.
I would like to see purple team pushing their advantage and turning it into free. Well, right now they could do a Baron. They could do a Baron very quickly. Fiddle takes 0 damage from doing it because of his drain. Just have him and Lucian go 2 mana.
It looks like purple team knows the vague locations of blue team because Leona and Lucian are turning and pushing bot. Leona is low, but she's moving with Lucian because I think she knows where blue team is about. The question is, will blue team turn around and take Baron? And it doesn't look like it. We have Draven going back.
Honestly, I don't think they could. Look at their team. They have a Eve jungle who has essentially 0 armor. She has a little bit of lifesteal, but no armor. They have a Vlad who could tank with a little bit of lifesteal, but again, no armor. Who's going to tank it, right? They're going to take so much damage in the process, and you have to be terrified of a Fiddle ult coming in.
Excellent point. And now we're seeing another fight in the jungle. Purple has a ward, but blue doesn't, and that means that Lucian, Fiddles can just turn around and murder blue team. Just their jungle is completely covered in fog of war, and you have a Fiddles, you have a Gragas, you have all of these like completely murdering champions who can just appear out of any bush at any time.
For sure, and even though they're able to pick up a few kills there, they're not getting anything from it. It's not as though they can get a dragon for it. It's not as though they can take turrets or Baron or really anything. Literally just saying, oh god, we didn't lose yet. That's all that fight means for them, even though they did get some good kills.
Right, and this is one of those games where it's hard to pinpoint an exact pattern or choice that led to the snowball. It's just a slow, consistent snowball over time because of Fiddle ult, and ultimately, Fiddle gangs. And ultimately, I think Blue Team just needed to ward a whole lot more, and a whole lot more often. Here we have Fiddles coming in with double buff. Tarek stuns him, but Blue Team turns and runs. It's a 2 versus 3, and they're running. Lux is coming up, but Singe flips Tarek behind him. Fiddles is just throwing dark winds around. We have Gragas moving up. This looks like it's going to turn into a team fight in mid.
Oh, sorry, I was just answering some questions in chat. And yeah, at this point, they really just... Purple team needs to set up some defensive wards around Baron, much like I was explaining in the video earlier, where you're getting enough vision that you can see any sort of approach to counter your Baron, and then just take it really quickly. Fiddle, as we mentioned earlier, can tank it incredibly easily, and then just throw one person who has some damage in, whether it's Lucian or like Gragas or someone, just have them come join and clean it up very quickly. That being said, there little bit of a throw here where 2 members of Purple team just tries to turret dive when there's no damage to follow up. Fiddle is off in base, Lucian wasn't there for the fight, Gragas wasn't there for the fight. Just a lot of unnecessary damage they were taking, and they could have been comboed a little bit more, but in the long term it doesn't matter because they are so far ahead at this point.
Now we have Lucian coming around, Draven ult goes out, picks up a kill on Singe.
Gragas is in behind, I would expect him to be ulting someone. Nice pickup on Draven there. He is able to get 2 kills. Oh wait. I am blind. What am I saying? Blue team just barely getting away from these fights. Gragas jumps over the wall, interrupts the back, gets a kill, but he is going to be taken down in the meantime. This is just them toying with them. I really want to see Purple team do a decisive victory where, at this point, they're far enough ahead they can end it any time they want. They need to close out the game, and this is what you see so often in solo queue where, oh, well, we don't have an ace, we can't push. Oh, well, I need an item before I can fight. Just fight. You have the gold, you have the items. You can do objectives so very easily.
You know, earlier I didn't criticize per se, but I said maybe Ancient Coin would be better pick on Leona, but I understand why she went for Face of the Mountain. She is just keeping Lucian alive at all costs. Between Locket of the Iron Solari and Face of the Mountain, Lucian is pretty much immortal when he has Leona by his side, and his contribution to team fights aren't as dramatic as a full-length Crowstorm or a well-placed Gragas ult, but it's definitely really adding up over time.
And I would point out at this point that Lucian is 10-1-5. He had a relatively good laning phase in terms of like CS and surviving the Draven and everything. But at this point, he has snowballed so hard. He has 266 CS, whereas Draven hasn't even broken 200 right now. Combine that with his 10 kills, and he, for all intents and purposes, is full build. He's just finishing up his Trinity Force right now, and while that will be a huge power spike, he has all the items he needs to do his job at this time.
Right now we're seeing Blue Team has started to ward a little more, but at this point it might be too little too late. Every time you lose a tower, that's a little less of a control you have on the map. When you have all of your towers up and you can ward in the jungle, you have safe places to retreat. Blue Team essentially has nowhere to retreat but their own base right now.
So apparently Lucian gets a pentakill, spoiler alert. According to the spam in chat.
Oh dear lord.
Okay, so here comes the Lucian. I don't see how he's going to get a pentakill unless it's in their base, because there's no way he's getting to other people in the meantime. Back mid lane. They're just sieging this up. I would have Lucy go mid. He's going for red first, unfortunately. Singe can split push by himself. He doesn't need Lucian with him. It was nice of him to go up there and pick up a free kill, but at this point, go mid. Let Singe do top. You guys go mid and do 1-4 split.
So when it comes to the 1-4 split, is that essentially like the way to close out a game?
It's the most common and the easiest. It requires the least communication from your team. You send a tanky dueler top or bot, and then you send 3 or 4 mid. And you generally do that when you have a wombo combo team who wants to force the enemy to leave their base. Because then, like, see what Leon is doing right here. If Singed is going to collapse in, you have someone in behind, and you have someone in front. That's a dead Evelyn. Or, oh, unfortunately the E missed. That would have been a dead Evelyn if Singed cared to dive.
We might be about to see Lucian pentakill now. I'm very excited.
We've seen a number of pentas in these workshops, actually, which is quite shocking, because they're pretty rare.
I've gotten 1 penta ever on MF back in the day.
Oh, an MF penta, interesting. Was it literally just an alt and you got a penta?
It was an ult, and then like I chased down like 2 survivors, yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so Tarek puts a stun down on Lucian. Leona taking tower hits. Lucian is putting down lots of damage with his Q and passive. He pops a culling, and it looks like Tarek is about to go down. Finishes Tarek off with the Q.
Oh my god, that damage.
Oh my gosh, so much damage. It's so scary to watch. Kills Lux in the fountain, turns around on Vlad.
So Evelyn, yeah, gonna try and stop.
Oh no, now that we know how this ends.
I don't agree with that decision, but great job Gragas saving his ass.
Pentakill
Nice pentakill.
On Lucian. That was a team effort, alright?
For sure.
Like, good job to Purple Team for keeping Lucian alive throughout that.
His team sacrificed themselves in hopes of getting that penta.
Right,
Like they were just throwing themselves out and being like, no, don't hurt my Lucian. He's so beautiful. Look at
He
his
is
long
so
flowing
beautiful.
hair. And then pentakill.
So hopefully Purple Team closes out. It looks like they are about to. Barring unfortunate circumstances. This is
Yeah, I would assume this would be ending. Draven is up now, but honestly, he should be able to just duel them if he really needs to.
Lucian is hitting the enemy instead of the Nexus. Not the biggest fan in the world of that.
He wants the double penta. But honestly, yeah, just hit the Nexus like twice and you'll be done.
Did you know you can get more than a pentakill in normal games? I'm not talking
You
about
can.
X-kill. It's legendary kill.
Yes. Yeah, there was a video of someone getting a, I think it was a Deca kill. Where
Yeah, like 5 people with a revive running.
Revive
or
teleport,
something,
yeah. So Brian is doing the matchmaking right now. If you get an invite from Felbrick, please accept, because that is the next match. Unfortunately, Brian Locino, I am not the Make-A-Wish Foundation, so no, you can't have presents. I don't have a Smurf to give you or a fancy code.
Wait, you're not the Make-A-Wish Foundation? Because, like...
No. I know I hang out with a lot of dying children.
Are you just
I'm
like...
sorry, I'm not even going to finish that statement. That was too... No.
That's a dark well of humor you're going over there, so...
I was going to go for it. I was like, yeah, no, I'm done.
When I was a kid, my brother had leukemia, so we got a Make-A-Wish Foundation trip to Disney World, and like my brother survived, so I always tell that story with like a really upbeat tone, because like, yeah, I got to go to Disney World, that was awesome. And people are like, but your brother, he was okay, right? And I'm like, oh my god, you think I'm a sociopath? Being like, yeah, man, free trip to Disney World. Oh, my brother died, but like Disney World, man.
Totally worth. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. It's only worth if you say in all chat.
Purple team, hit the Nexus.
Yeah, please just end. I had a Teemo pentakill.
I know, I was in the game with that. It was
You
very
were.
impressive.
Well, no, people were talking about their pentakills. So I'm pretty sure when Teemo gets a pentakill, he summons his ultimate skin, which is Infernal Teemo because he is Satan. And then he just devours the enemy Nexus by default.
So I was playing as Katarina, and I got 4 kills. I got a Quadra, and I'm running towards the last guy when Shen ults me. He teleports to me with the ult. He flashes, he ghosts, he shadow dashes, and throws a Q to get the last kill. And I was like, what?
Report.
No, he was my friend.
Oh.
So he was just doing it just to get my goat. And I'm like, really? Really, dude?
Oh, yeah, I did have a disconnect quadra kill on Morgana, where I ulted, attempting to reconnect to server. I came back and I was like, oh, I got a quadra kill.
That's incredible. That's when you pretend you did it on purpose. Like, yeah, I just pulled my router. I'm that good at the game. Purple team, hit the Nexus. I believe in you.
Okay. Please, end the game.
I believe in you, purple team.
Blue team's inhibitors respond.
We've mentioned it before, but I do not like Lichbane Lux. Please don't build it. And pretty much all of her deaths are where it's like, you landed a really good combo, but now you're out of position. And having a Lichbane is just encouraging you to be in that bad position on Lux. Get
You
the
are
death cap.
not Lux's real dad. You can't tell her what to do.
I can. She's dressed like a harlot.
Oh my god, have you seen her original design?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was terrifying in every way.
For certain definitions of beautiful. That
Okay,
makeup.
we'll see if Lucian can pull it off again. He has his GA now.
Hit the Nexus! Just hit it! Oh my god, you're killing me! You're killing me.
Oh, why?
Blue team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
Hit the Nexus! What are you doing?
Oh my god, this is painful.
Just turn around,
Team's turret
walk up the Nexus, and click it, and then it will die, and then you win the game. And then, like, candy comes out of the pinata. Like, come on.
Why, thank you.
Have you seen the video where this kid gets a Spider-Man pinata at his party, and he refuses to hit it, and he hugs it?
I have seen that, yes.
Okay, apparently from all chat, it seems like there's some trash talk going on. Guys, this is a constructive environment. We joke around on stream, but like, this isn't. If you want to call people retarded, if you want to call them stupid, if you want to complain about matchmaking, there's a lovely system called solo queue. This is not the place for that behavior. But seriously, hit the Nexus.
Oh my
Hit
god.
the Nexus. Just touch it. Touch the Nexus. Thank
Yes,
you,
Lucian, you are my hero for finally ending. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That was stressful. I was gonna have to drink myself into a stupor hoping that
If
he
the
ended the
team
game.
somehow won, like, I would have to like call the president and get like an award for each of those players for the biggest comeback in history. My god.
Okay, so I'll have you go over builds and everything. Brian is inviting final people for the next match now, and then we'll get into that game. So, builds.
Right. Just if anyone's trash talking, just take a screenshot of it and send it to us. We'll take care of it. For builds, on 13 we have Lux, we have Lichbane, we have Athene's Unholy Grail, Void Staff. No Zanyas, which is disappointing to me because Lux got collapsed on a whole lot and Zanyas would have helped. Also, no the Lichbane that we talked about not being the best idea in the world. Vlad, Leandry's Spirit Visage, Rylai's pretty standard. Some Vlad still like to get Will of the Ancients, but
It has CDR on it. It's not the worst thing ever.
it's not the worst thing. Some Vlads like to get Will of the Ancients. It worked out for him okay. He did pretty well in lane. Late game his score suffered, but that's because, you know, Purple Team had such massive dominance at that point. Draven has PD, Bloodthirster, IE, Berserkers. I'm a little surprised at how many PDs we're seeing over static shifts. The meta must have shifted somewhat. Tarek, we're seeing Face of the Mountain, Spectre's Cowl, Merc Shreds, Warden's Mail. Lots of unfinished items. I would like to see one finished item as opposed to 5 little items that didn't get all the way. Then on Evelyn, we have Blade of the Ruined King, Spirit Visage, Elder Wizard. Pretty standard stuff on Evelyn. Gragas has Death Cap, Zanya's, Void Staff, Athene's, lots of damage. It worked out very well for him. Looks like he was building into a not Void Staff, but like an Abyssal Next or something similar. Singed has Randuin's, Leandry's, Rylai's, You talked about Archangels and how it's not your favorite thing in the world. Rod of Ages might have served him better. Merc Lucian had Infinity Edge, Triforce, Bloodthirster, GEA, Last Whispered. Very standard build on Lucian and not ADCs in general. Nothing to criticize there. Leona had Sunfire, Iron Solari, Face of the Mountain, Sightstone, Spectre's Cowl, Merc We discussed how Ancient Coin might have served her better, but in the end, her strategy of protect Lucian at all costs became clear, and Face of the Mountain was a fine item for that. And then Fiddles has Deathcap, Zhonya's, Leandry's, Abyssal, and Spectral Wraith. Very good. Boots of Mobility worked out very well for him. We discussed how he got gutted in combat, but for traveling around the map and applying early game pressure, it was a great solution.